The plane is ready. The fundraisers are booked. Trump's VP search comes down to its final days. Trump's VP search comes down to its final days. And everybody's sitting there saying, who is it going to be? So let me kind of read this to you. Former President Donald Trump is set to announce his VP pick soon. The fundraisers planned and an empty spot on its fuselage of the plane ready for the name decal. Trump stated, I haven't made a final decision, but I have some ideas as where we're going. Trump has 2 rallies this week, one in Doral, Florida, where Florida Senator Marco Rubio, a top contender, will attend, and another in Pennsylvania near Ohio, home to J.D. Vance, and another potential pick, which is Doug Burgum, is also on the short list. And Trump mentioned the announcement could come probably a little before the convention, but not much. Top contenders like Rubio, Vance have indicated they are unaware of Trump's final decision. Rubio stated, I hear nothing, I heard nothing, I know nothing, while Vance said, I have not gotten the call. Lindsey Graham continues to push Senator Tim Scott, arguing he would add value in 2024 and help expand the map. Tom, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think Trump is being Trump, and he's very clever. He knows what he's doing with his campaign. We've seen sort of waves, right? There have been waves of candidates. There was rumors about a congressman from New York, from the 1st District, where we're sitting right now, and who ran for governor. He was on there. And I think what Trump is looking at, he's looking at the map, he's looking at the U.S. voter, and he's also looking at team. Team is very important to him. And it doesn't surprise me that J.D. Vance and then Doug Burgum makes a comeback. Doug is fantastic on energy policy. I mean, I'm a big fan. I don't know if he's the national pick, probably more like a Vance, but I would not be surprised to see Trump come back with a Vivek or a Tulsi. Do I think that right now? But it wouldn't surprise me because Trump is so strategic.
Tom, well, what percentage do you think, though, could it be somebody like a last-minute Hail Mary? Oh, my God, he went with Tulsi, female vote, Democrat turned, Republican. What percentage chance would you put that?
Well, J.D. Vance is from Ohio. You need the Midwest. It's right next to the blue wall. You've got a solid guy there that's well thought of. So I'm probably like 40% J.D. Vance and 60% the field, because I think Trump is very strategic and just could put anybody in there.
So, number one, Trump is going to be in Miami today. I'm actually going to the rally tonight at Trump Doral at his golf course in Miami. It's the same place where the Live Golf event was happening a couple months ago. I think this is a 2-horse race. If you look at the odds checker on Vegas, they have Doug Burgum as 1A and J.D. Vance as 1B. And it's not even close from a 3rd horse candidate. Then you have the Marco Rubios, the Ben Carsons of the world, the Tim Scotts, our friend Tulsi Gabbard, even Elise Stefanik that Tom mentioned. I think we know one thing. It doesn't matter. Trump's the candidate. That's the one thing we know. We have no clue what's going on in the Democratic Party at this point. Ever since that debate and Biden, the Titanic hit the iceberg, Trump is sort of playing with house money at this point. His odds have skyrocketed for being the overwhelming favorite to take back the White House. So whatever candidate he picks, it's Doug Burgum, I think, is 67 years old, completely different from a J.D. Vance, who's 39 years old. It would potentially be one of the youngest VP picks ever. So the biggest question is, does he go with a Doug Burgum, who's sort of a Mike Pence-esque stable figure in the Republican Party, a businessman, a strategist, governor, North Dakota, or J.D. Vance, a young firebrand, almost like a Donald Trump Jr. reincarnated senator out of Ohio? Those are his options.
I can't hear Pat.
Vinny.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know, PBD. I mean, first of all, it's refreshing. I'm just happy that it's not one of these, I don't care what, we're just this DEI Democratic. We have to go woman. We have to go woman of color. No, you're going for, and Tom made a good point, you're going for what the people are going to like. It's strategic, one guy's from Cleveland, one guy's, he's going to pull this much. I mean, with Mike Pence, what was the decision for Mike Pence? The evangelicals. You know what I mean? That's a big voting block.
Big block.
That's a huge block, Adam. But I still think I'm just glad that it's not going to be a DEI pick. It's an actual because look at how much failure from Karine Jean-Pierre to freaking Kamala Harris, how horrible these DEI job position pickings are. But I don't know. But I'm kind of with Tom that it could be a Hail Mary, Pat. I personally, I really, really like and was leaning towards Tulsi Gabbard. I think, strong female, switch parties. She's a freaking soldier. She knows what she's talking about. Kim, Tom's wife, just finished reading the book with Tulsi, and she goes, Vinny, I didn't know anything about her. I absolutely love her. That's the next book that I'm going to read. So I think, but Tom nailed it, Pat. With Trump, it could be a last minute. Wait, what? Who? But I do like JD Vance. He's young. He's fire. He speaks his mind. And I do love Doug Burgum because Doug Burgum, he speaks from his heart as well. And I don't know. It's going to be very interesting. But I'm hoping it surprises everybody with the Tulsi.
PBD, can I ask you?
Yeah, go for it.
I said on a podcast before, whoever the VP is will likely be the front runner for 2028. Not to go too far in advance, but you said the top draft pick is Vivek. So where do you stand now as far as if Vivek is not the candidate? Is he still the front runner in 2028? What's your speculation?
There is no way the VP is the front runner because not in this situation. You see, it's kind of like this, when you look at sports teams on how they win championships, right? Remember back in the days, it was all about the center. So everybody wanted to draft a center, a Shaq, a Will Chamberlain, a David Robinson, a Patrick Ewing. You need to go through a center and a Hakeem Olajuwon. And if you don't have a center, we're not going to win. And then boom, it changes. It's a 2. Then the 2 comes in and Michael's changing the game. So you need a Clyde. You need somebody to defend him, right? And then the game changes. No, we need what do you call the 3 people together? And what do they call it? The
big 3.
Triangle.
The big 3, the Celtics, the Miami Heat, and then today it's the European style and what's happening. No, the way you think about VP is in the following way. There are certain people, at least for me, that the VP helps 45%, 40%, 30%, 20%. For example, if I ask you right now, who was Bush Senior's VP? Who was his VP?
Dan Quayle, but I bet 90% of America forgot.
But that's the point. That's what I'm saying to you. The VP didn't matter. Okay, who was Bill Clinton's VP?
That was Al Gore, sir.
Guess what? He was a number 1 pick, and he was a big role because maybe Al Gore was more famous than Bill Clinton, some would say, right? Okay, who was Bush's VP?
That was Dick Cheney, the warmonger.
How big of a role he played, right? From the establishment
strategist.
That's right. So then if you go to Obama, who was his VP?
This guy running for president.
Right.
Heard of him, but yeah, he's there.
Who was Trump's VP? Who was Trump's
Mike
VP?
Pence.
He said to me,
Right. So,
I think he got hung.
yeah. So the point is with Trump,
My guy.
Trump can pick anybody. He's going to sell it to you as it's the greatest pick of all time because Trump's that guy. Trump's the guy that's the number 2. Put anybody in with him. He's going to be the scorer. He's going to be like, let's go. It's not going to be like, hey, I need you to come do campaigning for me. When's the last time President Bush went and campaigned for Trump for run for office? Think about it. How many people are campaigning for Biden? Obama, Clinton, everybody. Who's campaigned for Trump that's a previous president? Nobody. He doesn't need it. He's like, yeah, I don't need it. I'm good. So it's a different look for him. The only thing I would be thinking about with him is, what he needs, if anything, less than a 3% influence of what he needs. What can that 3% of influence insurance policy be? Is that JD Vance? Are you most worried about Ohio? Is that a Vivek? I don't think it's a Vivek because Vivek is a number 1 draft pick and Vivek is you. So what are you getting with Vivek that you're not really getting from anybody else? And getting a Vivek could even bring the conversation of what Ann Coulter said, right? Well, America's not ready for this. It's just too many conversations that the establishment can be going away from it. Bring a Tulsi. A Tulsi is your connection to any of the independent libertarian side. Does that help with the 2 or 3%? And let's not forget, let's just say Biden steps down. By the way, there's no way in the world the Dems should have Biden replaced before the RNC because you're giving too much opportunity for Trump to pivot accordingly. They have to pick their candidate as close to DC as possible. So Trump has to change and be like, oh my God, we have to adjust to them, right? So let's just say this, Kamala. Who destroyed who on the big stage in a debate in the Democratic Party towards Kamala? Tulsi. Go pull up the highlights, Rob. I don't know if you got a highlight with Tulsi Gabbard against Kamala.
Wow.
I think Tulsi has already gone up against Kamala. So Trump can say from stage, he's always looking for the one-liners. Hey, Kamala, before you come to me, why don't you try to go through my VP? You can't even beat my VP, let alone with me. So Trump can joke and say, honestly, I know Kamala's your candidate. I think it's unfair for Kamala to debate against me. I think it's better for my VP to debate Kamala. He can run with that marketing story and the media will lose their shit if Trump says something like that. He can run with that. That's a Trump
hope, baby.
So I don't know. I think you got the JD. I think Rubio, you already have Florida. What do you need Rubio for? Hispanic vote? I don't even think people look at Rubio as a, I don't know. I don't think it's, I understand Doug. Doug is a Mike Pence pick. Doug is a Mike Pence pick, okay? JD Vance, fire pick. Tulsi, independent pick. That's going to kind of a troll Kamala, but that would be my feedback on what I think would happen here. But is that the clip, Rob? How long? Okay, go ahead and play that clip, Rob, if you can. That's Tulsi and Kamala. Go ahead.
Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you, Congresswoman.
Now, Senator Harris says she...
You have to know that's power, right? That's power when you hear something like that. And again, if a lot of people haven't read the book, last night, when your wife, Kim, was talking about when your wife, Kim, was talking about Tulsi Gabbard, she says, after reading the book, that's my pick. And Kim's never said that. This is a conservative lady who's never said that, but she said, after I read the book. So for some people that maybe haven't read the book for Tulsi, when it came out, we did one of the first lives. I highly recommend you go order a book and read for yourself and learn about what she's all about. But, at the end of the day, Trump's going to be making that pick, and we'll see who that pick's going to be. So there's a movie coming out this summer everybody's looking forward to. It's the Ronald Reagan movie, played by Dennis Quaid. That movie comes out August 30th. But how would you like to do a private screening of the movie on August 2nd, 4 weeks before the movie comes out, and after you watch the movie, right afterwards, 30 minutes later, Dennis Quaid comes out and does a live podcast, and you're sitting there watching him, the podcast, right next to me, we'll have a conversation with him. Big Hollywood name actor, all these movies he's been in. It's going to be a very unique experience. So if you want to be a part of it, all you got to do is go to 5990live.com. There's 3 tiers of tickets. General tickets, $100. Premier, $250. VIP, $500. The VIP people will not only be able to take a picture with Dennis afterwards, but you'll also go to the cigar lounge afterwards with me. I'll be there. A couple of our friends will be there. So if you want to be a part of it, click on the link above below or go to 5990 Live, get registered. We'll see you there on August 2nd, 5 p.m. in Fort Lauderdale.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.